So wait, what is a land acknowledgement and why is it important?
Well, let's start with the land acknowledgement you did at the beginning. We talked,
Yes.
there's a number of pieces that go in there. So it's the community that would be associated with the land, in this case, the Algonquins. And then we talk about the status of that particular area as well. So in this case, you mentioned unceded, unsurrendered.
Yeah.
Some land is treaty land, other lands are traditional lands. These are all things to take into account. And then kind of bringing it all together. So these are things that the Indigenous community has been doing since we've gotten together. It's no different than if you go to someone's house for a house party, you probably bring them a gift or thank them for inviting you.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same type of process.
Yeah.
So we're coming into someone's community, we're thanking them as a guest for allowing us to be there and for inviting us in and treating you with hospitality. So that's where it stems from. Our role as land stewards is an extension of that, and that responsibility for the area where we live, both not just both, but land, water, and air, taking care of all of those aspects. And one of the concepts that we have as Indigenous people is we don't own land. How can you own something that's there before you or after you?
I understand.
You can only take care of it for the time that you're here.
Yeah.
It's going to be here long after you're gone. So these are certain aspects. So land ownership is a very foreign concept. It's a very Western concept.
I understand.
And hence the exploitation of land is also very foreign to us. It's a Western aspect as well.
Yeah.
Rather than exploitation, it's about a balance of living in unison. It's there for your coexistence. You take only what you need and you give back so that future generations have that same benefit. Hopefully it's left in a better state. So that's kind of that mentality that all stems from, and that responsibility to that land, and for your guests to honor that responsibility that you've taken on.
Yeah.
So that's really where that kind of comes from. So it's important to do that at important meetings or ceremonies or gatherings. It's just a matter of respect, I think.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that connection and respecting that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read that Indigenous people were nomadic before. So it joins the fact that you're saying that the land belongs to no one. It didn't belong to a particular tribe or something. So
Yeah, and that stems from a couple of things. So one, it's hunting seasons.
Yeah.
Following the migratory paths
Yeah.
of different animals for food and for survival, clothing and everything else. And then it also was a matter of, one of the echoes of that is the overlapping land. I don't know if you've heard anyone say, but Canada's covered by more than 100% of Indigenous treaties and claims. In a number of areas, you've got multiple claims that are overlapping.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. So back home at Six Nations, that land around it is all treaty land of the Mississaugas of the Credit.
Okay.
Or so I've been told, as I have learned some of their history. And I see, the treaty land, and I see that it's acknowledged by a number of those entities. Six Nations, our claim is that our land is unceded and unsurrendered. We did not sign a treaty.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean we don't have claim to the land. So again, you've got two different groups
Okay.
that are laying claim, different claims to that same land. And you can have this in multiple areas across the country.
Because one group has a treaty and the other doesn't.
Yes.
But they both are in the same land. So
Yes.
it's like,
Yep.
okay, I understand.
And we do have certain
challenge.
things, we have a Jay Treaty, and there's the Beaver hunting grounds and the Haldeman Tract. There's all these different overlying pieces of information. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is very few people have actually ever read the original full documents.
Okay.
And that is where an area of misinformation can stem from.
Okay.
And understanding the spirit of what those documents are. And it's the spirit is where a lot of the challenge takes place between the Europeans that signed or had those documents signed and the view that the Indigenous peoples were taking. Because from the Indigenous perspective, even the treaties were about land use, not about land sale.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of those
misconceptions.
Yes,
and
yes.
misunderstandings between
And that's why we're
both
seeing
parts.
these things take place in court now. And the vast majority of the court rulings are in Indigenous favor. I just attended something called Indigenomics with Vanessa Dreckman, our Eastern manager. Yeah. And there was a lawyer, a non-Indigenous lawyer, that's been tracking this. And I think he said as of October of this year, it was like 353 wins and less than 10 losses.
Okay.
So he goes, when you take the Indigenous peoples to court, the odds of winning are not in your favor.
Yeah.
Now, this is primarily based on, forestry and mining challenges, but it does stem into land rights and treaties and different interpretations as well. So we're all starting to see this come to fruition. So,
thank you for listening, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Take care and miigwech.